Hey guys, how's it going? Been a little while. Haven't made a football video really since the Super Bowl, which was more than 6 months. I mean, 6 weeks ago. And I'm having a hard time really immersing myself in the football thing right now. I just feel like, well, first of all, it was a long season. The season's over, and I had fun. For the most part, it was a pretty good season, and I just kind of wanted to get away from football for a while. But that's not really an issue. That's not the issue that I'm referring to. That's not an issue at all. Everybody probably goes through that at some point, but I I have a hard time with this team, this Seattle team. There's just nothing to love. It's a team that I have a hard time feeling strongly about. Not just that they're bad. I mean, I've rooted for bad teams before in all sports. It happens. I don't feel any sense of kinship with this roster, with this franchise, and it's making it hard for me. You know, looking at this team, we've lost Burleson. He went to Detroit. Seneca went to Cleveland. Nate was a fun guy to have around. He was never extremely productive, but I enjoyed having him around. He's a pretty good wide receiver who made plays, and I appreciated what he brought to the table for us. And Seneca, it's a backup, not much more than that. Not a guy you want to start for you for more than 8 games in a season. And if he does start more than half the season for you, you're not going anywhere. It's a little sad to see them go because they were cool people, but not devastating losses. It's just that those were guys that I liked, that I felt like were part of this team, that I liked having around, and they're gone, and it feels like they took a part of that team that I knew with them. And Walter Jones probably going to retire, and if he stays around, he's not going to be able to play that effectively. I mean, when you lose it, you lose it, and he's lost it, quite frankly. Obviously Ruskell was out, although that happened a long time ago. I can't even remember the name of our new GM. I think he's just kind of an interim guy, as in, the fact that I'd never heard of him before, wasn't really the guy I had in mind or anything like that. We got Pete Carroll. Obviously, he's officially our coach, has been so for a while now. Not excited about that. I mean, hopefully he's learned something from what he did with the Jets and the Patriots and the time he spent away from pro football, but it's not exciting to me that he's our coach next year. Nothing to get excited about with regards to that. I am excited about having 2 first-round picks, including the number 6 overall and another mid-round pick, I think around 17 or something, but that is something that I'm excited about. I'm excited about the possibility of getting Brandon Marshall, though the more I think about it, the more I realize I don't really want the guy. He's a fine player. I'd love to have him in most situations, but we don't need more wide receivers right now. That needs to be, we've taken some chances on some guys. We've already pushed all our chips in the middle of the table with Hushmanzada, and either he's going to be a number 1 option and we're going to be good, or he's not. He's a number 2 option and we're kind of screwed. But we've already kind of committed to that, so signing Brandon Marshall is just going to make it pretty much impossible to improve in other areas. Right now, I look at this team, I don't know who I trust to be there next year in terms of playing well. Most years, in years past, I believed in Hasselbeck, I believed in Walter Jones, I believed in a lot of these guys. I don't know if there's anybody on this team I can say that about right now. Olindo Mare, I feel pretty good about him, but he's getting old and kickers come and go. Lofa Tatupu coming off a major injury. Don't completely trust that. Leroy Hill, fairly confident, but not supremely so. Marcus Trufant, kind of a mess last year. Not completely his fault, but it was a mess. Um, Aaron Curry, I wasn't too happy with the way he played his rookie year, and quite frankly, I'm a little worried about his development. I don't feel spectacular about him moving forward. Um, who else? I mean, before when this team was winning division titles, winning 10 games a season, which they, were competitive for 5 straight years, I believed in the offensive line. I believed in the quarterback. Um, for the most part, I believed in the coaching. I believed in the pass rush, and there's just nothing to believe in anymore, and it's very hard for me to get excited about these guys. Not because I think they're going to be horrible, but I just can't help but feel like there's nothing to love about these guys. It just seems like it's a business, and feels very businesslike, and I think it might be kind of hard for me to really attach myself to these guys as the season moves along. So, there's still time for us to make some moves. I've heard that we're looking to trade, that we tried to trade for either McNabb or Kolb. I'm not interested in that at all. Very much hoping that we don't pull the trigger on anything like that. I understand that we want to try and get a quarterback for the future, but you got to be a little careful with things like that. But yeah, that's really all I got. I don't know where else to go with this one. It's just hard to get too excited about the NFL right now for me, because I feel like I don't know this team, and what else can you say about something like that? I barely followed free agency at all, so it's just like I have a slightly waned interest in the whole league. I'll feel differently when the season comes along. Preseason will happen and I'll feel fine. But right now, I kind of needed to get away from it. I kind of enjoy watching the NBA right now because I have no vested interest in who wins and loses for the most part. And I can kind of appreciate that because, seeing this team get ripped up, and it was going to happen eventually. I knew it was going to happen by now, but I need to find something new on this team to attach myself to, and hopefully it's going to be the linebackers. Tutubu, Hill, Curry, even the backups, Hawthorne, Herring, those guys. Yeah, I think I can attach myself to those guys, but they got to get it done. Kearney's another example. He's wasn't too much of a factor last year. I don't know what we're going to get from him. It's just, I don't trust anybody on this team anymore, and it's tough. On a more factual note, I just want to say that the draft's coming up, and I know there are guys like Clausen and Bradford and McCoy available, and I don't want anything to do with any of them. Tim Tebow, I don't care who it is. I don't want anything to do with any of those guys. I feel like I have my heart set on Jake Locker, and we got to do whatever it takes next year to get him. Hometown hero, going to be a great NFL player, plays the right style, going to be a great pro, I feel, and I feel like I want to commit myself to that. Hasselbeck, I don't trust the guy at all anymore, but it's not like I hate him or anything. It's not like I've forgotten what he did at one time, and this is the last year of his contract, I think, so I'm fine with letting him play that out. Contract's going to run out, and he can go sign in Dallas as a backup after this year. But I'm cool with not going for a quarterback yet. I'd be fine with just playing the season out with Matt and taking it on the chin. and going after Locker in the draft next year. I just want to say that one thing because that's the major source of talks between Seattle fans right now. And yeah. I kind of already have committed myself to that. I don't want to get. I don't want Bradford. I don't trust him at all. I don't trust Clausen, although, Clausen wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Don't trust Tebow at all. Don't trust McCoy at all. Any of those guys. I want nothing to do with any of that. And yeah, I'm willing to ride out one more season with Matt. Maybe he'll have a couple good moments left. But I'm not blind. I see the writing on the wall with regards to him, and it kind of sucks because once again, all these players that I knew for 5-6 years were the cornerstones of this franchise and were dependable. I don't believe in any of them anymore, or they're gone. So yeah, sorry about the depressing video, but that's kind of how I feel right now. So see ya.